Hello? Yes. All right, folks. Good morning on a beautiful but warm, sunny, and Mother's Day Sunday. We are playing in the KC Sports Web Gyms Rings Championship Tournament. Today is the first day of bracket play, and we have number 4 seed MacNSeitz Blue 14U playing against the Wardawgs, the number 5 seed. Oh, man. A really short setup here, folks, and so I'm well behind the power curve. But bear with me as I continue to try and get things set and going. Tucker Lee on the bump for MacNSeitz. Starts off with a foul ball. So Tucker coming in 68 miles an hour, a little bit wild there. He'll need to dial it in if we're going to have a good game. And now a 1-2 count. So umpires looking to kind of move things along here today and starting just ahead of the hour. And me with no help this morning. Oh, strike 3 call. And Tucker Lee starts off with a K looking. That'll be number 1 for the day. So a nice curveball right there to get things going. This one down in the dirt. Nothing. I just got going, and I'm just all kinds of behind. So. Oh, and that is not one that Tucker is going to want to call the ball all day long. I can tell you that, folks. So 2-0 count to batter number 2. That is actually going to be Braden Van Druff at the plate. Oh, no, that's not Van Druff. It is Braden. It is MNS 14U. MN. And so Tucker with the strikeout on the first batter and missing what I thought was a strike just right at the knees, and comes up with a walk there. That will bring up Carson for the Wardawgs. Little chopper, this one down the line. That is actually going to roll foul. So Tucker all set, working from the stride with a slide step. Good lead over at first. Runner goes. I cannot believe that wasn't a strike. Throw down is not in time. And now a 1-1 count. I would have liked to have seen Tucker throw over to first over there and do a better job of holding that runner on. And strike call there. Strike 3 call. Swing and a miss. So 2 outs and 2 strikeouts for Tucker Lee. Runner on second base. And we're here in just the top of the first. So we're going to see those cameras adjust on you guys throughout the day, the high dynamic range on the lenses. And so you'll see them kind of lighten and darken as the sun kind of glances off the lens. And Tucker with a hit by pitch, and that'll put 2 on. So that's going to bring up, well, it looks like I don't have any numbers here on the lineup for the Wardawgs. Swing and a miss. Fastball coming in, 68 miles an hour. Definitely seen Tucker as he throws his bullpens. He tends to throw harder as he goes. Little chopper infield. Tucker Lee is going to handle it. And makes a bad throw over to first. And some aggressive base running. Oh, no. They did get him out at first. They don't get a run unless the run did the run come across the plate before the out? Then there's no run. All right, so give some credit to Odie Saxon there. Tucker making a very quick turnaround throw over to first base. Odie jumping up and getting a throw that was off the mark. Doing a fantastic job there. I think I'm going to have just a quick moment here to get settled. I'll go on a small audio break, and I'll get back with you guys, talk about the lineup. Okay, folks, so here we are at the KC Sports Web Gyms Rings Championship Tournament. Today is bracket play, and the MacNSeitz boys earning the number 4 seed coming into the tourney today out of pool play, earning a win and a draw, which we have not done this season. And so in a game that requires extra innings during pool play, they do not go into extra innings. So going 1-0-1 in pool play, earning that number 4 seed. And interestingly enough, the team we're facing today, the number 5 seed, is the Wardawgs, and they have actually done the same thing. They went 1-0-1. So we made it through top half of the first inning. MacNSeitz has that home advantage, being the higher seed today. And not exactly a clean inning. Tucker Lee with 2 strikeouts. And then an out over at first base. So a couple runners do make their way on base, but the Wardawgs leave 2 stranded, and MacNSeitz now with their first opportunity up at the plate. Our starting lineup today in order is Reed Eckert, followed by Ryder Votaw, Jacob Larson, Paul McLiney, Odie Saxon, Harrison Perkins, Tucker Lee, Austin Strength, Brooks Carr, Evan Book, and Grant Kelly rounding out that lineup. So stepping into the box now, number 8, Reed Eckert. And I apologize, I don't have numbers on the lineup that I received from the Wardawgs, so it's going to be a little difficult for me to call out the names. But the Wardawgs pitcher starting from the windup, starting out with a strike call there. Oh, and a near miss there. 1-1 count. So if I'd have been on my game, I'd have been at least able to start writing down the Wardawgs numbers during their lineup. Ball in play. This one over to second base. The ball is flubbed, but he's able to stick with it and get that out. So Reed putting the ball in play, unable to come up with a hit right there. And now followed by Ryder Votaw. Ryder Votaw hitting .333 on the season coming into this tournament. On base percentage, .556. So pitch for the Wardawgs. Looks like he's dialed in and ready to go. Hitting the zone here early. Ryder sitting on the curveball. Pops that one up. And the right fielder covering some ground and making out number 2. So not the start offensively, but we still got one more out to go. MacNSeitz having an opportunity to still put some runs on the board. Now at the plate, Jacob Larson. So first pitch strike. And pitch has been very consistent with his fastball. Last pitch in and down in the dirt. Coming in 64 miles an hour. I'll tell you, somewhere between that 65 to 70 miles an hour tends to be the MacNSeitz kind of sweet spot. And Jacob laying off that last one down low. Larson, I tell you what, has been hitting the cover off the ball, batting .500 on the season, having a good day at the plate yesterday as well. And looking to get things started for MacNSeitz here in bottom of the first. Screamer down the left side, and that one is foul. So now 2-2 count, ball missing and down and low. But I'll tell you what, just on the edge of that strike zone. This pitch is doing a good job moving that ball around. Ball in play. That's going to be a single for Larson, and he continues his hot hitting ways as he rounds first and takes a look at the relay coming in. Nicely done. Now followed by number 44, Paul McCliney. And a number of boys really starting to see the ball well, Paula, which is one of them. Pitch with an errant throw over there at first, and Larson hops up and will make his way over to second. So wanting to keep that base runner honest. And Larson with a little confusion there. He thought he was being called back to first for some reason. But he is on second. And now Paul with an RBI opportunity. Coming into the tourney today, or not today, but coming into this tournament, Paul had 7 RBIs on the season. One of the higher ones on the team. See that on your screen, but we've got that lovely train going by here on the other side of the Capital Federal Sports Complex of Liberty. And Paul earns a walk right there. He is the listed catcher, and so I think he's got to run down to first before they're able to do a courtesy runner for him. And indeed they do. Last out was Ryder Vota, so that's a little pickup for MacNSeitz. His Ryder, one of our better base runners, and Paul not exactly a speedster, but definitely a good bat at the plate. That brings up number 5'8", Odie Saxon. Odie joining us for the first time this tournament. And by that I mean he did play in the last 2 games, but this is the first tournament he's been able to join us, playing for Lee's Summit West High School on their freshman baseball team. Pass ball, runners advance. And so boys doing a good job there. Now 1-1 count as both runners move into scoring position. And Odie with a great opportunity to get MacNSeitz on the board here early. Big swing and a miss. You could tell he saw that ball really well, starting off a little bit high in the zone. And back coming just underneath the ball. Swing and a miss. And the Wardawgs will get out of that half inning, same as MacNSeitz, leaving 2 stranded. And still a 0-0 score. So it looks like we've got some decent energy, some positive energy coming out of the dugout right now. I think the boys are set and ready to go as they begin to take the field. All right, boys looking pretty decent out there as they warm up. Tucker throwing his last couple warm-up pitches. And just as I expected, he's starting to throw just a little bit harder as he warms that arm up. So Tucker Lee, let's look at his pitching stats. So pitching in just over 8 innings this season for us so far, appearing in 4 games, 11 strikeouts, and only 4 earned runs with a 3.36 ERA. Our stats collected by Game Changer, and Steve Book oftentimes taking those stats for us. So Evan's father, appreciate his work there as we're able to take a look back at these stats and how these guys have been able to do. And all set for beginning of the second. Man, I don't know where that pitch was, but it was close. So important to say, I was talking to the umpires here just before the game. They both umpired 5 games yesterday. And they are on slate for 7 today. So obviously big hats off to them as they join us here out on Mother's Day and working hard to allow these boys to be out here competing. That one down low. And now 2-1 count. That is number 4, Tucker, for the Wardawgs at the plate. Oh, man. And Tuck not getting any calls here early. So 3-1 count for the leadoff hitter this inning. Tucker lobs one in there, and interesting, the player at the plate, his name is Tucker as well. We don't run across too many Tuckers, but Tucker Lee out there on the bump for us. Now 3-2 count. Oh, man, that one missing just outside, and Tucker visibly frustrated that he did not get that call. So I do find that at the beginning of these matchups that the strike zones tend to be tight, and then they loosen up as the games go on. But Tucker missing on a really good-looking curveball right there. Thought he had that one, but it must have missed outside. And again, folks, when you're sitting off to the left or the right, it's easy for you to complain about the balls and strikes, but nobody better to call those than the umpire. Ooh, and Odie Saxon doing a good job on not a great throw on a pickoff attempt. I don't know if you saw that, but Tucker Lee sliding off these tiny little mounds. Absolutely one of my chief complaints, and I love the Capital Federal Sports Complex. Beautiful turf field, a really nice, well-kept grass outfield. But these mounds on a 14U team are just ridiculous. And would love to see them invest in a more age-appropriate mound. They should be on a 10-inch rise right now. And I tell you what, I don't know if that's a 10-inch rise, but if I'm a betting man, no way that's even the proper rise. Tucker missing inside. And missing on his last two pitches. This is Braden Van Druff at the plate. Swing and miss there. So Tucker and Braden actually used to play on the same team here, I'd say maybe almost 5 years ago maybe, with the Tsunami. So some familiarity with these two. Runner goes. And he had a great jump right there. Tucker not paying a lot of attention over at first base. And now 3-1 count to Van Druff. Ball 4 and a pass ball, so the runner does a good job of making his way over to third. Paul with the yips once again, and a bad throw back to pitch. Folks, we're going to have a little bit of a choppy internet today, so you'll just have to bear with us. So Tucker with stepping off the rubber and looking as if he's going to throw over to first. I don't know where that pitch is missing, but Tucker's nonverbal is looking terrible right now. Pop fly center field. And we're going to double him off over there at first base. So an excellent job for Reed, but a sac fly and a run does score. So Wardawgs up 1-0. But 2 outs. And Tucker all set to man, oh man, I need to change my position here a little bit. Ball. And so I talked about this in a couple of the games yesterday, how very often youth pitchers do not challenge the inner half of the plate as often as they should. And Tucker looking to do just that there and hits another pitcher. Young man is down and got hit in the side. He's going to need just a moment here to recoup himself. Got him right in the ribs. And I'll tell you what, there's a couple of ways to take a pitch that comes in, and that's not exactly how to do it. He kind of tried to turn away from the ball, and that actually opened up his chest and his ribs to the pitch coming in. What you really want to do is kind of tuck that arm and then turn in. So but he looks like he's recovering over there on first and doing just okay. Nice hit there just over second base's head, and that'll be a single. Outfield doing I don't know what there. So we got 2 down, just 1 run on the board, and MacNSeitz looking to get out of this inning. That brings up number 28, Zeke, to the plate. Fastball in, 69 miles an hour, and that one's right down the pipe. So bigger strike zone to work with here. Tucker looking a little more confident. Swing and a miss. And Paul does a good enough job to stay on top of that ball. The runners are not able to advance. And strike 3. So that's 3 strikeouts on the day for Tucker Lee. And MacNSeitz gets out of that second inning, but not before 1 run is scored. I tell you what, Tucker's body language coming off of the mound is not what I want to see. There's no excitement there, and it looks to me like he's going to be on deck this inning. Harrison Perkins will lead off for MacNSeitz. I tell you what, Harrison Perkins leading off for us has not hit the ball well this season. I tell you what, I've talked about it too often. I'm really just waiting for Harrison to kind of come around because he's doing a good job of getting the bat on the ball. He's just not having a ton of luck, and there's a lot of energy and pop coming off that bat. Just not having a lot of luck, and I feel like he's not getting deep enough in the pitch counts to get better balls to hit. So he tends to be an early ball hitter, and so he's swinging early in the count. And sometimes he's not getting the best pitch to hit. But let's see if he can't get something started for MacNSeitz here, as we're looking for a little bit of a run production and moving on in bracket play. MacNSeitz having a better than 500 performance-wise on the season so far, but not performing incredibly well during bracket play. So looking to get all the moms out there a little Mother's Day gift and hopefully a little more success today. Pitch from the windup. And he starts with a strike. So just as I say, Perkins, an early ball hitter, he lays off that first one. And that one missing outside. So Tuck, I think, when pitching, trying to really work back towards that inner half of the plate and hitting a couple of batters here early. Man, I don't know where these balls are at, but that looked like a pretty good pitch. So that had to be outside. And a 3-1 count. Last pitch coming in, 67 miles an hour, so a little bit of a pitcher's duel here. Harrison hammers that one out of play, right side. So that'll load the boat. And Harrison up the middle, shortstop handles it, and a nice dig over at first base for out number one. So shortstop doing a good job covering some ground, not the best throw, but making a quick throw over to first. And first baseman doing a great job with a backhanded stab. That brings up number 27, Tucker Lee, to the plate. That ball in. And Tucker with a smile on his face as he moved his feet out of the way. This one down in the dirt, now 2-0 count. Oh. So umpire really looking like he's kind of favoring that left side of the plate. So not just the inside or outside, but maybe just that left side of the plate. And so 2 balls on 2 pitches and 2 strikes on 2 more pitches. Now a 2-2 count. So Tucker not liking either of those calls and really need to fix his body language. I just not a fan of it at all right now. Ball 3 as Ketch tries to frame that one, bringing it back in. And now full count to Tucker Lee. Setting up on the inside half of the plate. Fix it! Tell you what, there's one thing I just don't have patience for, and that's crying out on the field. You can sit there and bellyache all you want, but it just serves no purpose, and more importantly, it's a selfish thing to do for your team. So when your team's trying to get something else going and you're going into the dugout with negative energy, that's something I just don't have any patience for. Now number 36, Austin Strength, and I tell you what, this kid's had a heck of a season so far. Really enjoyed watching him play, both at the plate, out in the field, working out a number of different positions, pitching pretty well for us yesterday, and now looking to get something going for MacNSeitz. 3-0 count here to start. You know, baseball is one of those sports where there is so much mental anguish. You have so much time in between pitches and in between plays, and actually getting a play to actually have, as Strength draws a walk. And MacNSeitz now with the tying run on base. That brings up number 5, Brooks Carr. And if you don't, as a player, if you don't learn to really control your emotions and stay more even keel, you're really going to struggle in the game. And I tell you what, it's something that all players struggle with at all levels. And so you see that even in the bigs. You see it certainly at college, high school, and of course in youth sports. But each of the players grow, and they grow in their own way and at their own speed. Pretty close pickoff attempt over there on the last one. This last one not so close. And so pitch now, looking to start throwing some strikes as he's struggling with his control a little bit. Ball in play. This is a little dribbler back over to third. Oh. And a safe call there as the first baseman pulls his foot. So Austin Strength at second. I was really a little surprised we didn't see him steal from first over to second. But being that tying run, maybe electing for a little bit more conservative on the base pass. So 2 on now, first and second, and Evan Book at the plate. And a pass ball, runners will advance, uncontested. Evan Book coming up to the plate in the last night's game, kind of in a couple of pivotal moments for us on 2 different innings with runners in scoring position. Puts the ball in play and both of those at-bats, and unfortunately not going his way. This one over to second base, and that'll be out number 3. So Evan continuing to put the bat on the ball and just not having a ton of luck. But the Wardawgs able to get out of that inning, and once again MacNSeitz strands 2 more out. Out on the base paths. I'm really not happy with Tucker Lee right now. He's acting like a big pouty baby. And, you know, it never helps when a dad or a parent gets upset and tells them what for, but how else are you supposed to teach these young men what behavior is or is not appropriate? And really just not happy with it. And he's not pitched terrible, but he's hanging his head, sloping his shoulders, and just frustrating. folks. So a close one here in the first game of the day in our bracket play. So 17 teams in the pool play. That whittled down to 3 different brackets. We are in the gold championship bracket. And we're the winner of this particular game will play again at 2 o'clock, facing the winner of the number 1 seeded Patriots and the number 8 seeded 643 KC White. And a hard foul ball there to start. Now no 1 count. And Tucker Lee looking for a different baseball to throw. So now 1-1 count. And he hits another batter. So Tucker really trying to work and own that inside of the half, but it kind of getting away from him here 3 different times today. And a nice slider right there, coming in 67 miles an hour. Good vertical movement. Little chopper, this one over to third. Jacob Larson on it, and that'll be out number 1. So runner will advance over to second base, and that ball had it was slow enough and chopping up that third base side. Larson really had to run over to get to it. No play at second, and makes the only play that he can for out number 1. So Tucker with a pickoff attempt over there at second, trying to keep the runner honest. And he hits another batter. That puts 2 on, and Paul McCliney asking for a timeout to go talk to Tuck. I tell you what, I'd get him out of there. I know that we've got some more games to play here yet today. We have to have a win here, so in order to stay in bracket play, you have to win. And we need a win right here, but his body language is just awful right now. Control a little bit all over the place. Big left-handed batter at the plate. Hits this one inside out. It's going to be shallow. That one's going to get down, but they will make a throw over to third, and that will be out number 2 for a force out. So almost a fielder's choice in a sense, although kind of atypical, as it does get it to the outfield. But a fly ball, and the runners had to hold. Shallow enough, they're able to get it over to third base for an out. So even with Tucker not throwing well, and certainly not in the right mental state right now, still a close game, 1-0 in the favor of those Wardawgs. And Tucker making a terrible throw over to second base on a pickoff attempt. He's complaining about the mound. He's fallen off of it at least once. We need to see some mental grit right here. A great dig by Paul McCliney, keeping it in front of him and keeping those runners from advancing. Wardawgs looking to add to their margin, a little bit of breathing room right here. One runner in scoring position. That last pitch coming in 69 miles an hour, high and inside. Fouls that one back. And now 1-1 count. Big young man up there, number 2. And again, I don't have numbers, so I couldn't tell you who that player is. Runners go. And Paul moving laterally, keeping the ball in front of him, but runners advance. And a 3-1 count. Comes up with a strike right there and blows that right by. Looks like Kaiser, number 2. All I have are first names here on their roster. And strike 3 call. Tucker Lee gets out of that inning, so whew. I talk about that with Tucker very often, and that is when you're not having a great day out there on the mound. When you don't have your best stuff, you don't have your best control, you still have to come up with the strikes when you need them the most, and he comes up with one there. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts on the day. Now what we need is MacNSeitz to come up with some offensive production. And I tell you what, that's something that we have struggled with from time to time here this season. Leading off for us is going to be number 15, Grant Kelly. And then on deck will be top of the order for Reed Eckert, followed by Ryder Votaw. I'll take here just a quick moment and talk about some of our sponsors for this 2023 season. Our platinum sponsor here is those are the folks at Van Horn Land and Cattle, family-owned and operated farm in Kansas. You can check them out on Facebook. They are big on community, and we are big on them for supporting local youth athletics. Their donation supports these young men training and playing America's pastime. So a huge shout-out to everyone at Van Horn Land and Cattle. Thank you so much for your donation. And it now looks like the Wardawgs. No, my apologies. I thought the Wardawgs had changed pitchers, but looks like pitch is just taking a nice relaxed warm-up. His delivery was a little bit different, so I thought it was a different young man up there, but done a very good job with the MacNSeitz order so far. And I tell you what, a contrast to the weather for yesterday, very overcast, very cloudy today. It's still like when we first got here, I felt like it was really, really humid. Now a nice little breeze kind of coming up and making it a little bit more comfortable out here. Sun's not really beating down, although it is poking out of the clouds from time to time. Kind of a little bit quiet out here on the ball fields as of yet, although we do have 4 games going. Once again, playing in Liberty, Missouri at the Capital Federal Sports Complex of Liberty. And Grant Kelly fouls that one back. I tell you what, Grant had a pretty good day at the plate yesterday. He didn't have a ton of hits and whatnot, although he did have a really nice line drive over second base, but a couple of really long 8-9 pitch battles, and doing a good job of seeing the ball and moving the bat to the ball. And we'll see if he's able to have any success here. puts one down the left field line. Now looking to straighten one out here and put it in play. All the boys on the MacNSeitz side up in the dugout. And I will say the strike zone has been consistent. It is tight. And I think when you've gone from a pretty liberal strike zone, Kelly puts one in play. This one over to second base, and that is going to be out number one. Now to the back of the top of the order, and Reed Eckert will step into the box. So let's checking Wardawgs out on USSSA website, kind of looking at their record. Looks like they've had a number of tournaments so far here this 2023 season. And from what I saw and what I do recall is at least one win every tournament that they've played in. And oftentimes getting to, I want to say maybe 4 games in their tournament play. And now 3-1 count to Eckert. Eckert, not with a great average, 133 coming in to this tournament, but a 458 on base percentage. And he draws another walk right there, continuing to add to that on base percentage. Looks like Coach Brady has some instructions over there for the runner at first. And Ryder Votaw now stepping into the box. Of course, Coach Max over there at first. And pitch has very consistently thrown over to first and doing it, in my mind, a pretty good job of holding the runners on and keeping them honest. Right now, not a lot of aggression from MacNSeitz out there on the base pass. Big swing and a miss right there. Back coming in just underneath that pitch. But Ryder still looking very comfortable in the box. Good lead over at first. And a little back pick and a bad throw. That is going to allow Reed Eckert. Oh, and they throw him out. So Reed back over to first on a pickoff play. Runs, and the ball didn't get far away from the first baseman. He's able to make a nice throw over, and MacNSeitz just not coming up with what they need to. So now 2 down. Looks like we've got the KC Kings team over here in the stands watching the game play. Probably set to play here in this next game. And a 2-1 count. Ryder stepping out of the box, taking a sign from Coach Brady out there at third. And several of the MacNSeitz batters now, looking as if they felt like they had a walk and coming back with the strike. Ryder puts this one in play. It's chopper over third base side, and that's going to be out number 3. So Wardawgs continuing to work well defensively, and MacNSeitz not able to get any action, even though getting base runners on in each of the last 3 innings. Still no runs. So 1-0, favor of the Wardawgs, and Tucker Lee is actually coming back out for the 4th inning. I sure hope he gets it together. He's been a bit of a hot mess today. All right, folks, we are looking at the top of the 4th inning. And I don't know if you folks can see this or not, but I was talking about the mounds here earlier. And if you look at Tucker's stride, his lead foot plants half on turf and half on the mound. And that's what I was talking about. Like, there's some really uncomfortable, physical dynamics to these mounds. And, Tucker's definitely a little bit on the taller side, right at about 6 foot or so. And but I tell you what, he's not heads taller than his counterparts playing at 14U. In particular, Logan Peterson on our team and Jacob Larson, both as tall, if not taller than Tucker. But no reason that these beautiful fields and facilities shouldn't have age-appropriate mounds. And I tell you what, that's just frustrating to see. But it looks like Tucker is going to start from the windup. And starts with the ball high. Got to say, during warm-ups, he looked like he was still struggling with that command. Throws that one right down the pipe, and number 1 for the Wardawgs fouls that one right side. Right down the pipe, 69 miles an hour. Now 1-2 count. And he gets him with that slider, or curveball rather. And boys will throw that one around the horn. That's strikeout number 6 for Tucker Lee today. And big foul ball left side. And that's number 4, Tucker Adams, at the plate for the Wardawgs. Oh, that ball comes right out of the hand. Now 1-1 count. So I like that concept there. He was going back to that off speed 2 in a row there. See what he does here. And now 1-2 count. As that foul ball nearly takes Coach Max's head off. And he misses outside. Now 2-2 count. Strikeout number 7 for Tucker Lee, and now 2 down here in top of the 4th. Wardawgs continue to be up here 1-0 And MacNSeitz looking to try to go 1-2-3 for the first time today. I say it so often, but Paul McLiney doing such a great job behind the dish. Digs another one right off the chest plate there. And that is Braden Van Druff at the plate. So former teammates. And Tucker buzzing the tower on that one. Braden Van Druff kind of shaking his head with a big smile. And Tucker looking all business right now. And a strike call there. Coming in 69 miles an hour. You know, give a shout out to Coach Alex Van Druff for the Wardawgs. Gave me an opportunity to coach with these boys. I want to say that might have been 10U. And really good experience there. Great group of boys. And I still see some of those same kids here on the team there. And a strike 3 call. Looks like there's going to be throw out at first. And Tucker kind of dialing it in there on that last inning. So let's see if MacNSeitz can get something going here offensively. Take a quick opportunity to talk about one of our silver sponsors for this season. That's the team out at Village Pediatrics, specializing in comprehensive services for children from birth through adolescence. They continue their support and care of the community through their services, and also here by supporting the young men at MacNSeitz. So if you are looking for a pediatrician, we'd recommend you check them out. That's Village Pediatrics, where children come first. I tell you what, no, I'm all set. Why don't you join me here for a minute? Yeah, it's trying to keep the shade because that's where the sun was coming from.
I didn't know it was attached. I just thought it was blowing on you.
Yep.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'd like to send a shout out to my amazing, wonderful mom, who I think might be watching the game from home. But if not, she'll watch it later because she's that dedicated. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. I love you. And
folks, that's my wife, Delana Lee, joining us here on the broadcast today.
You have to say my name like a country music singer. Delana Lee.
Delana Lee.
Delana Lee.
And I want to wish her a very happy Mother's Day. Getting up early and supporting one of her young men.
Thank you. It was the going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning that really killed me.
We did have a late night. The games were a little bit behind, and I don't think we left the ball field till, a 11:45 maybe?
I don't know. It felt like the middle of the night, and I'm tired.
Hot hitting Jacob Larson at the plate now, and he takes that first pitch for a ball. So definitely a lot of energy now coming out of the dugout, and I'm hopeful that this is the inning we can kind of get something going.
Get some runs on the doggone scoreboard. My goodness.
Right in the meat of our lineup here.
The Wardawgs have been playing good defense, so we just got to get, stop hitting it directly to the players maybe?
We have
stranded some gappers?
We have stranded runners every inning, with the exception of the last inning where we had one runner make it on base and then subsequently thrown out on trying to advance over to second base.
Tucker's had 8 strikeouts today.
That's what I count, 8.
That's exciting. He also hit three batters. That's not good. How many walks did he get?
He's had a number of walks. I will say it's not been his best control day, and visibly not doing a great job of controlling the emotions there. But looks like catch and pitch. Just talking here briefly, want to get on the same page with maybe what they're wanting to do on the pitch calls. 2-1 count right now to Larson. But I'd like to take a moment here and give a shout out to my mother, Sherry Zamorano. They are out camping right now in RVs with a group of friends out there at Lake Melbourne.
Is that in Kansas?
It is in Kansas. It's actually not far from the Kansas City market, so not too far away here, but hope they're enjoying their day and she's enjoying her Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, yeah, good pitch. I got lucky in the mother-in-law department because Sherry's pretty amazing, so.
Well, and you know, I did too, and I think that when we talk about that, which we do fairly often, there are a lot of people who don't like their in-laws, but we don't tend to be that. And this is a single right up the middle for Larson.
Nice hit.
And he continues to
Nice
just
hit.
hit the ball well.
He is crushing it.
I had a feeling if there was going to be a good inning for us, it could be this one. So Larson makes his way on base with a nice single up the middle, and now number 44, Paul McCliney, up at the plate. At the last tournament we played here in the Liberty Sports Complex, Paul McCliney actually hit a home run on this field.
Yes, he did, and it was awesome.
Over that left field fence, and I tell you what, that really boosted and lifted the team. And
I feel like he could do it right here again. I feel it.
He's a good, solid player and a really solid hitter. So I think there's always a possibility when Paul's up at the plate.
He's also a very polite young man. We had him at the house yesterday in between games. He was so nice. All of them were.
There's a good group of kids to have over.
Got to hang out with his grandpa, who's awesome as well. His name's John.
Kind of one of the few advantages of playing up here in Liberty. We're situated here nearby, and the vast majority of our team pretty far off from Liberty. So most of those guys having to really kind of get up early. And so a happy Mother's Day to all of their moms as well.
How come we have a happy birthday song, but we don't have a happy Mother's Day song? I feel like somebody needs to write that. Make it happen.
Well, you know, I'm not much on the composing side.
Or the singing or the playing side, but you do love music.
But I support the concept.
Oh, that was close.
And so that's now a full count. 3-2 count. I got to tell you, I'm shocked that we have not challenged the catcher a little bit more, and I really feel like we should have been a little bit more aggressive on the base pass. But that is the tying run on first base.
Oh,
nope, it's ball 4, so it's a non-play.
That was still a really good job, Jacob. He looks up and he's like, "I made it." Oh, I didn't need to do that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. It's a risky play by the defense because the catcher, not knowing the situation, makes a throw down. If that is an errant throw, the runner could easily advance over to third. So kind of one of those unneeded things, and hopefully each of the boys kind of learning that situation and learning from it as they continue to play baseball.
We've got a young group of baseball players over here in the audience watching the game. They look to be about 8U, 9U, I think. They're checking out the older kids.
Yeah, a little team from the Engaged Athletics. Another baseball academy here out of the Northland. So runners on for MacNSeitz now at second and first base. Now number 5'8", Odie Saxon at the plate. Big swing and a miss. Odie really swinging the bat, and I tell you what, he smoked a single yesterday. He hit. I would have loved to have seen the exit velocity off that. I'll have to go back in and look at the pocket radar because sometimes it will pick up that exit velocity. But he just absolutely smoked it, and so.
Maybe these pitches are too slow for him. He's been playing high school. He's not used to this. I don't know how fast this kid's pitching, but.
So he's throwing very consistently right at 67, 68 miles an hour.
That's pretty good. That's clicking up there. There you go.
And Odie with a nice piece of hitting right there, right side. That one gets down. Runners are going around the bases. One will score. Odie's making his way over to second.
Yes!
And he is safe with an RBI double. Where's my button?
I don't know, but this is why I can't commentate, because all I want to do is scream and clap. And you're actually doing your job and being like calm and stuff.
There we go, and that'll tie the game up, folks. So that puts Ryder Votaw on third base with Odie Saxon with that big RBI over there on second. And now number 28, Harrison Perkins at the plate with an RBI opportunity. And important to say right now.
Run. Oh, coming back. Good idea, Ryder. He's fast. He really wanted to run home.
Yeah, and Ryder, definitely one of the better base runners that we have on the team. But with nobody down, really no reason to push the issue unless that throw was just completely out of land. But I will say that the fence is not far off of the line here, and so that's a little benefit to the Wardawgs right now.
I do see some dark clouds bubbling.
I don't think there's any rain in the forecast for today, is there?
Yeah, a lot of rain in the forecast, sir.
No. Are you looking at Liberty?
Oh, God.
And 2 pitches, 2 balls, and Harrison Perkins looking comfortable in the box right now, staying loose.
The rain's coming in around 6 p.m., so we should be hopefully dodge those clouds that I see off to my left.
Yeah, and maybe that's what I was looking at, is I was really looking more at like the game times today.
Well, when I looked last night, it said there was a 67% chance of rain at 2 o'clock, and so it's obviously shifted a little bit since last night at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Just another Mother's Day gift.
Right.
So a 3-1 count on a nice off-speed right there. Pitch beginning to look as if he's getting a little bit tired, but I tell you what, the velocity's still staying with him right now. As he steps off just to try and keep those base runners honest.
There you go.
Perkins puts this one into play over to shortstop. There will be one that comes across the plate, and he legs that one out, folks, for an infield single.
That's what speed do.
So a nice job by Perkins. That puts runners on the corners, and MacNSeitz takes a 2-1 advantage. Wardawgs coach now wanting to take a small moment here, and yep, he is going to make a pitching change. So we'll take a small audio break, and I'll let you guys have a little listen here to Na Na Hey Hey, Kiss Him Goodbye. All right, folks.
65. He only had 7 strikeouts. I thought he had 8. He's got 7.
I've got it down here that he's got 8. So it's probably, yeah, and so it was probably scored incorrectly. So that is number 11 for the Wardawgs, taking the hill and looking to get the Wardawgs out of this inning without any further damage. Still nobody down, and Harrison Perkins coming up with a big one right there, legging out an infield single. And that's going to bring up Tucker Lee, number 27, looking to help himself out. Got 65 pitches on the day, 8 strikeouts, and 1 run scored. So contest now 2-1, favor of MacNSeitz. And a first pitch strike. So I thought velocity-wise, this pitch was going to be a little bit slower, and he is just a touch. Maybe that one coming in 65 miles an hour, so not a lot slower. Tucker gets underneath that one and fouls it back. Now down in the count here early, 0-2. So Perkins with good speed over there on first, and Coach Brady elected not to do any takes on a steal attempt. Tucker fouling that one off the end of the bat and definitely early on the pitch. And Tucker Lee striking out right there. Swing and a miss. Looked like there was a foul tip, but the catch is able to hold on to it. And that's going to bring up number 36, Austin Strength, to the plate. I tell you what, I prefer to see that swing and a miss right there. At least he's swinging the bat when he thought that the pitch was close. That's what I said.
Well, you said swing and a miss, so that's why I didn't know if you saw it.
No.
Sorry.
But you never want to leave it in the hands of the umpires, and if you can put the bat on the ball, you really have to kind of swing away here. And so just one down. Perkins did make his way over to second base, as you would expect. And Austin Strength batting .353 on the season. Just been pivotal for us all season long. And he comes down with a strikeout right there on a swing and a miss. So now 2 down, and Brooks Carr, the second left-handed bat in the roster, or one of 2 left-handed, I should really say. Showing some good patience there, laying off that one, missing just outside. Brooks Carr with 3 RBIs on the season. Has an opportunity to add to that here. And now a 1-1 count. So good pickoff attempt over there at third, and they about caught Odie Saxon sleeping, but Odie makes it back safely. And a nice line, right over to shortstop. A big lob catch. That is Brooks Carr. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I'm going on 4 hours of sleep. Cut me some slack, Dad.
So MacNSeitz now up 3-1. And Evan Book now up to bat. So runners on second and first. Coach Brady signaling out to the runners and to the batter. Brooks puts this one into play, and a misstep by the shortstop, and Evan Book will reach on air. MacNSeitz looking to try and open this one up. 3-1, there's 2 down, and bases are loaded. Looks like there's some conversation. And they pulled the shortstop. Well, so Wardawgs making a defensive adjustment right there. Something you don't tend to see a whole lot in the middle of an inning. And that brings up number 15, Grant Kelly, to the plate. Pitch missing down low. And that is number 11, Braden, up there on the hill for the Wardawgs. Coming in a tight spot. Kelly putting one into play. Shortstop handles it, and that is going to be out number 3. But not before MacNSeitz gets on the board and goes up 3-1. And Tucker Lee with an opportunity now to earn his first win of the season. When you go in and you take a look at all of our stats, obviously we've won a number of different games, and but you have to have 5 innings to record a win. So definitely the deepest that Tucker has pitched into a game. Still falling off to the side. That mound is just absolutely frustrating, but got to hand it to the Wardawgs. MacNSeitz leaving a number of runners stranded. And still very much a contest that's within reach. That is number 12, Laffey, for the Wardawgs. And fastball coming in 69 miles an hour, so Tucker's still staying right there in his velocity. Yeah, I think he's trying to put a little mustard on it, and it's getting away from him. That one hitting 70. And again, as I said, when Tucker throws a bullpen, he tends to start throwing harder as he continues to throw. And so hitting 70, I think, maybe the first time today. That one missing inside, and now 2-2 count. And a strike 3 call, and the boys will throw that one around the horn. That is strikeout number 9 on the day. And Tucker finding a way, even when he's not got the best control. I think he's hit 4 kids today. 3? Man. Wardawgs are going to feel this one tomorrow. And he misses pretty high there. And that is number 3, looks like Braden Garcia. So 3 Bradens on this team. I bet they have to use last names out there during practice. And Garcia backing out even as that pitch was coming across the plate. Fastball, 70 miles an hour. And a great dig by Paul McCliney. Just so technical, and you know, a lot of folks don't know, but Paul been working with Mike McFarland in some catching lessons for quite a little while now. And I tell you what, he's one of the most technically sound catchers that I've had the opportunity to watch. And so Tucker lets one get away right there, and the Wardawgs have a runner on. That is Colton Colford. Tucker also played with Colton on that Tsunami team here years ago. Colton with a nice single on his last at-bat. And he fouls that one back. So now 1-1 count. Tucker now working from the stretch. And he goes to a slide step, but that ball does not break. One of those dangerous pitches that kind of hangs in the air, but that one was pretty high, so Colford lays off. Swing and a miss. And now a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. And strikeout number 10 for Tucker Lee today. That is a career best. And that's going to bring up big number 28, Zeke, for the Wardawgs. Runner goes. Throw goes down. That's going to be close. Oh. So a really excellent throw by McCliney and a close play at second, but Wardawgs now on 2. Now an 0-2 count. Zeke kind of takes a look back and looking a little bit unsure. And Tucker really looking to dial it in here. That is going to be a strike 3. There will have to be a play at first. And he's safe. A run's. And the runner is safe. So on what should have been a strikeout and a drop third strike, the runner is able to make his way over to first, and some heads-up base running by the Wardawgs, and that they'll put one more on the board. That's now 3-2. Coach Max goes out there to talk to Tuck, and that's maybe a 10-second conversation. So that runner reaches on air. Swing and a miss. This is to number 9, Daniel. Looks like Edinburger. This one right up the middle, and Votaw collects that one for out number 3. So Wardawgs chop away at that margin and put one on the board. Now a 3-2 contest. That's going to take us to bottom of the 5th. Game time starting just before that 10 o'clock hour. And I got to imagine, here we are coming up on 11:25. I think that depending on how long this half inning goes, that we will go into a 6th inning. So we'll be interested to see if MacNSeitz is able to delay in any way by putting some base runners on and seeing if we can't get to a game time type of situation. So Tucker's last pitch coming in 71 miles an hour, continuing to find more velocity as he goes, and I got to think that they may want to bring him out if we are to have a 6th inning, but I have no idea if they will or not. And fortunate for MacNSeitz, starting here in the bottom of the 5th at the top of our order with Reed Eckert leading off. So it looks like the Wardawgs will stick with number 11 out there on the hill. That is Braden. And no reason not to. Both pitchers for the Wardawgs pitching pretty well, only giving up 3 runs. Here in 4 innings worth of work, this will be their 5th inning. And we are all set to go as an errant throw goes out there on the warm-up. All right, Wardawgs take their place. Braden going to pitch from the stride, and Reed Eckert at the plate. First pitch down, ball number 1. Ryder Vota on deck, and all the MacNSeitz boys up at the dugout fence cheering each other on. They're looking for their first win in bracket play, if you can believe that, folks. We have run-ruled teams. We've gone 2-0 in pool play. As this ball gets put into play, right over to shortstop, and that is going to be out number 1. But if you can believe it, we've gone 2-0 in pool play on 2 different days, earning a number 1 seed, and then falling first game in bracket play. So we're looking for our first win in bracket play, and this is a pretty close matchup. Could go either way. Right now, MacNSeitz enjoying a 1-run lead. Ryder Vota batting .333 on the season. Takes first pitch for a ball. Now 1-1 count as Ryder steps out and gives a hard practice swing. Pops this one up left side. Left fielder's trying to track it down. Center fielder comes up with the ball. And so that'll be out number 2. But that's going to bring up hot hitting Jacob Larson, and looking to continue his hard hitting ways. If you recall, we scored our first run with 2 outs. And then our go-ahead inning, Jacob Larson led off. Wow, this one is deep, folks. It's center field, and he brings that in for out number 3. A good knock by Larson, but right to the center fielder, barely had to move. And that makes for a short inning, 1-2-3, and the Wardawgs make quick work of MacNSeitz, and that will take us to the 6th inning. Wow, and Tucker Lee coming out looking for a complete game here. That would be a first in his pitching experience, looking for that complete game. Very consistently throws 3 innings, and but I tell you, he's been working with Craig Bowles up there at Bowles and Strikes out of Kearney, Missouri, for pitching instruction, and he has consistently worked on Tucker's movement. Really, and that's something that they really focus on, is how are the kids moving? Are they moving on the mounds? And Tucker's using his lower half like he never has before, and that has given him a lot of longevity in the game. His arm does not seem to tire. It does not seem to hurt. So a big thanks to Craig working so well with Tucker out there, and Tucker definitely starting to look a little bit on the tired side. We'll see how this 6th inning goes. And that's going to bring up number 20 for the Wardawgs. I believe that young man was the one who made that last out in center field. And a hard hit ball right down the left side. That gets by Jacob Larson, and that will be good for a single. So talking about the heart of the lineup, I believe we're somewhere in that heart of the lineup. Yep, so that was Jaden, their leadoff batter. Oh, and a good throw down. Oh, my goodness. That was close. Ryder Vota colliding with the runner as he's sliding, trying to dive over and get that throw. That throw coming just to the right side of the bag a little too far. And Ryder Vota coming up a little gimpy. Looking like that left knee kind of hurt a little bit. And Tucker gets number 11, Braden, down early in the count here, 0-2. Tuck missing up high. Now 1-2 count. So runner on second. That is the tying run, folks. Nobody down here in this inning. And you can start to see there's a number of folks gathering around, starting to watch this matchup. Interested to see who's going to advance in bracket play. So the tying run on second, now go-ahead run on first. And that is Carson at the plate for the Wardawgs. And so Tucker with that nice curveball. Carson wanting no part of that one. Now 0-2 count. Oh! And Tucker falls off the dang mound. I tell you what, that right there is the type of thing that these 14U guys should not be dealing with. That curveball glancing off the glove of McCliney, but he quickly collects it and keeps the runners from advancing. And a strike three call. That's number 11 on the day. 11 strikeouts for Tucker Lee here in the 6th inning. Looking for a complete game and looking to get out of this inning with no damage. Fly ball, right side. This one looks like trouble. He's not going to get to it. It lands on the ground. That's Evan Book in right field, and he didn't get a great jump on it when he finally got his legs going. Don't know if it's a little bit slick out there in the outfield there, but once he finally got going, he had to pull up short. And now the bases are loaded, just one down. Now they're a cleanup hitter for the Wardawgs at the plate. Tucker dots that one at 70 miles an hour for strike one. And strike two. And he blows that one. 12 strikeouts on the day, folks. 12 strikeouts. Or is that 13? That's 13 strikeouts, folks. Now 2 down, top of the 6th. Score is 3-2 in favor of MacNSeitz. The Wardawgs are threatening with the bases loaded, and number 4, Adams, Tucker Adams at the plate. He hammers that one left side, and Harrison Perkins collects that one for out number 3. MacNSeitz finished the job there. I tell you what, Wardawgs doing a great job getting runners in position, and they threaten but leave 3 stranded. And wow, I tell you what, Tucker Lee with a hell of a pitching performance. You could see how his body language at the beginning of the game was just awful, but as he continued to go on and continue, he was finding the outs that he needed, getting strikeouts fairly often. And I tell you what, he hit 3 batters. He's had a number of walks, but the guys behind him when he's needed them there. And MacNSeitz now bottom of the 6th. We have that home advantage, and you got to think that game time is going to be coming up here shortly. And so the Wardawgs trying to hustle this game along because they're hoping to get through this 6th inning before game time expires. Paul McCliney is the leadoff batter, and he's the catcher, so he's trying to get all his gear off. But he makes his way up to the plate. And Paul's got to be feeling a little bit hurried, a little bit rushed. So Delana telling me they've only got 5 minutes left in game before the game time expires. Paul takes his batting glove off, something there bothering him just a bit. Now 2-1 count to McCliney. Big swing and a miss. Paul rubbing his hands on those pants, so something with his hands. And like I said, he didn't get a normal opportunity to take his gear off and kind of take a few practice swings before the umpire's calling for the batter. Working now towards a full count. Boys all up the fence, excited that there might be an opportunity here for their first bracket play win of this season. And Paul fouls that one back, so quality at bat right there. 6 pitches in and has another opportunity to keep things going. And Paul earns a walk right there. That's going to bring up number 5'8", Odie Saxon. Odie with a strikeout on his last at-bat, but or was it a strikeout? You know what? I think he actually put that one in play. Looks like MacNSeitz will do a courtesy runner for Paul McCliney. And so that is going to be Jacob Larson out there at first. So boys, I'm sure, on the instruction for a take until they get a strike. Nobody down, now a 1-1 count to Saxon. So Larson being careful over there at first, and obviously nobody out. Pop up. This one right side, it's going to get away, I think. That is a fair ball, folks. Let's go, let's go. Larson heading around second. McCliney, oh my goodness. Odie with another double. And I tell you what, man, that right fielder really kind of, he had to cover a lot of ground to get to that ball. And that will be the game, folks, as game time expires. And MacNSeitz coming up with a W there. And the word for the day is Tucker Lee. I tell you what, 14 strikeouts on the day and pitched a complete game. So first time personal best for him. And I tell you what, Jacob Larson continuing to see the ball and put things into play incredibly well. No, we're going to be moving. And so I tell you what, boys are now all lined up out there and ready to give their their sportsmanship thing. But our MacNSeitz kids winning. And the Wardawgs, man, hats off to them and a really close game. So a couple of pitchers doing a great job in holding MacNSeitz to 3 runs. And I hate to see games expire due to time, but that is the case. And MacNSeitz putting up a good show here. We will see everybody, I believe, let me double check here, but we're going to see everybody again. And so a Mother's Day present for all the MacNSeitz moms out there. But we will be playing again at 2 o'clock at the Jousting Pigs field. So today we played this morning here on the Brass Rail field. That, again, is at the Capital Federal Sports Complex of Liberty. So thanks for joining us, folks. That is MacNSeitz or MNS14U on YouTube. And appreciate everybody joining us. We will